Yo, what up gamers, Metallic Rock here, and today I'm going to be talking about Battlefield 6. Obviously, last weekend there was a playtest that everybody jumped into. I think it was the largest beta that Steam has ever had. Everybody's been talking about it. It was super successful, and I kind of just wanted to say what impressed me about it personally. So, I have an older computer. I have like a Ryzen 5 3500 and a 1660 Super. So needless to say, my stuff is not very new. But despite this, the game actually ran incredible. You know, one of the big things I've been dealing with in modern games is when I boot up the game having to wait 30 minutes for the shaders to compile. Now, I know it's only a beta, so like the full game isn't part of the download, but Battlefield's shaders finished in like literally 30 seconds the first time I opened the game last weekend, which was sick. On top of that, I think it's the first modern game that just ran. It just runs. I think there was an optimize settings button. I hit the optimize settings, and that was it. The game looks good, it feels good, and it just runs. Very little lag at all. Like, I should say, very little FPS drops at all. The first weekend playtest, I actually was lagging a little bit. Kind of expected, like, I'll give them a bit of understanding there. They probably didn't expect for the playtest to be as big as it was. It was huge. And on top of that, it could have been my router or something. I don't know. I was lagging a little bit in other games. But, so far, so it's back. August 14th, the playtest is back through this weekend again, so if you missed it last time, jump in there now. And if you didn't miss it and just want to jump in some more, you can do that. Awesome, right? So far, I've played a couple matches in the second playtest, and I haven't really experienced any lag at all, so that's been good. As far as like how the actual game plays, you know, this really, I'm not a Battlefield player. I haven't played a bunch of Battlefield. I haven't played a bunch of different Battlefields. I played Battlefield 5's beta when it came out years ago. But yeah, that was a long time ago. The game is good. It's good. The closest comparison for a game like it that I've recently played would have been Squad. Squad's like a pretty realistic milsim game. Obviously, Battlefield is more on the arcade shooter, faster end of that type of game. I really do like playing the like domination, I think it is, or Conquest. I think I've been playing Conquest. I have sniped exclusively. I haven't done anything with shotgun, SMG, AR, nothing else. I have played Recon, and I have used the sniper rifle. That's all I've done. That's what I'm looking for in this kind of game. I hate the like Call of Duty run around quick scoping thing. It's garbage. So I really like a nice big map where I can just like lay in a bush like a fucking rat and snipe people that cannot even see me. And I mean, I don't know if I've exactly gotten that experience. I think there are only a couple of maps out right now for the beta, and a lot of them are urban maps, and I kind of feel like they should be a little bit bigger or just have like a little bit better sight lines for the snipers. I feel like people can always kind of just get me with an AR. But, man, in those times when you're just, like, chaining headshots back to back and you know they can't be revived, you're just dropping bodies. Oh, it feels really good. The sound for a headshot, the sound the sniper makes, it all feels really nice. Like, really punchy, really snappy. It feels really good, and then it's also just running good, you know? A lot of modern games, I keep calling this the first optimized game in like the last 5 years. If the game actually releases like fully and just runs good, that's gonna be like a marvel, because the game looks good, you know? If I compare it to something recently that came out, like Monster Hunter Wilds on my computer, which is an older computer, technically, I can play it. Like, I've beaten the whole game, and I've done a bunch of in-game stuff, but it doesn't look good, all right? It looks worse than Monster Hunter World on the settings that I have to play at, and it runs poorly, right? Like, it runs really bad. But Battlefield 6 looks really crisp. It looks really good. And it runs really good with 0 FPS drops. Like, really. Like, even when, you know, I was worried about the dynamic environments because that's really CPU heavy, and a lot of games fail to get that right in the sense that, like, it works, but your FPS will dip, right? But even when I was inside of a building that came crumbling down, I mean, barely any, if even noticeable for a second dip, but really not even then, right? Like, nothing that even registered on my radar. And obviously, you know, as somebody with this kind of a system, I'm a little bit more lenient when it comes to like FPS, you know. A lot of gamers, a game comes out and says like, oh yeah, 60 FPS, perfect, and gamers are rioting and like throwing chairs at the developers. But like for me, I don't know, 60 FPS, that sounds great. My monitor's refresh rate is 75, so I don't know, can't go much higher than that. So yeah, the performance has been great, you know. I feel like, personally, maps could be a little bigger, or, like, some sight lines a little better for the snipers. Maybe there'll be some other maps in the release. It has been pretty sick. The recon carry around C4, just, like, sprinting at tanks and blowing them up. That's been really fun. Trying to learn the maps and understand, like, the off angles, or using your respawn beacon to, like, help your squad get behind people. There's that little bit of tactical gameplay. Personally, if I compare it to Squad, which I kind of feel like is a little too slow, and then I compare it to Battlefield 6, which I kind of feel like is a little too fast, I would like, I feel like my perfect range there is more aligned with Battlefield if they just slowed Battlefield 6 down a little bit. Obviously, I don't expect them to do that, and I don't think they necessarily should. I mean, like I said, I'm not part of the Battlefield community or whatever. My opinion really doesn't matter on what they should do with Battlefield 6. I'm just saying, for me personally, I think that if Battlefield 6 was a little bit slower and a little bit more tactical, then I would enjoy it a little more. Aside from that, you know, I feel like playing in like a full squad, like in Discord, would go really hard, and you could probably make some real impact if you were playing in like comms with people, because that organization is going to be missing for a lot of people, and that is what is nice about squads, you know, in the game Squad, because it's more realistic and such a slower representation of a milsim. You know, the communication is like required to get anything done, and I don't even think I've heard anybody speak in Battlefield 6. It's the beta, so it's fine. All in all, super impressed. You know, another thing maybe you've heard and maybe you haven't is, if you download it on Steam, you hit play, it doesn't open the EA app. It just launches the game. You know, like if I go play Marvel Rivals, which for me doesn't work anymore, I keep getting login errors, but I hit play on Steam, it kicks me out to a NetEase launcher, Marvel Rivals launcher, and then I have to hit play again. But with Battlefield 6, EA just said, fuck that, go ahead, hit play on Steam, you can play the game. Very, very smart decision. So, crazy to think that EA is cooking over there. If you're a Battlefield fan, I'd say it's an exciting time. Obviously, don't believe the hype and don't pre-order the game. Come on, you're better than that. But, I'm excited to see what official reviews look like and how that plays for people. Don't miss the second beta, you know. It's another beta weekend, like I said. Get out there, play it, see for yourself. Even if you have an older computer, really give it a try. Go see for yourself, because I don't really think you need a high-end system to enjoy this game at all. And for me, that's the coolest part about it. And in a lot of ways, I think puts a lot of other studios to shame, you know, when there's other games that I can barely run or that run poorly on my computer. For Battlefield 6 to be coming out in 2025 as a new game and to just run perfectly fine on an older PC, it can be done, okay? Hold the developers to higher standards, all right? Because this is making me rethink a couple of what some other studios have done. All right, that's it for this. This is a lot of rambling. Battlefield 6 seems good. Go play it. Go see for yourself. Peace out. Later. Bye-bye.